Mission Pro Wrestling, the symbol of excellence in women's sports entertainment.
All right. I can't get enough of that intro. I love it. It rocks so hard. You know, Angel Marie, when you eventually do get your first match, that's got to be your entrance theme. We got to
it does.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Mission Pro fam. I am Myndrunner, of course, sometimes called Myndrunner to the haters out there. And with me, of course, my co-pilot on this awesome flight through all that's women's wrestling, Angel Marie. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic tonight.
Coming in loud and clear, and I understand a little bit of celebration. You crushed a little bit of physics action recently.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, what's going on? Shout out to Pepe also. What's going on? Good to see you in the chat. How you feeling off it? That's your first victory. See, then, you know, that's what they should do in school. There should be a title belt. Like when you defeat, you know, certain aspects when you're going through school. You know, you get a, you know, I know they probably would say, oh, that's a diploma. Oh, Myndrunner. But no, I think have like a title belt or something. Anyways, so much to cover. A little bit of administrative stuff. We originally advertised there was going to be a panel that we're real excited about this. We were going to have a panel on diversity and representation in wrestling. We are postponing that. We're going to have to pre-record due to some scheduling issues, but it's the good kind of scheduling issues because this panel is going to be very dynamic. We're going to have some really powerful voices in the industry we're going to talk to and get their feedback on what is going down. You know, where are we with representation as far as, you know, women in wrestling, transgender in wrestling, you know, different race, culture, background. How is wrestling represented, and how important is it in the industry? So be on the lookout for that. Click that bell. If you're not already subscribed, you got to be subscribed. I mean, if you're Mission Pro family, why are you not subscribed? I mean, come on.
Exactly.
Hit that subscribe. Slay that subscribe button. Right?
Slay.
Right? Angel, did I say it right?
Yes. That's perfect. Slay that subscribe button. Click the bell. Click the like button, do all the things. Follow Mission Pro everywhere.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Very cool. So keep that panel's going to be coming soon, of course. And we got some exciting guests lined up here as well. This is going to be a great group. Even though Mission Pro itself is on hiatus, the shows are not. We're cooking. We're giving you all the cool stuff going on in women's wrestling. And woo! We have a lot to cover. I hope we can do it. But really cool stuff. I just overall, Angel, how are you feeling about the women's wrestling landscape right now?
Oh, wow. There is so much going on right now, but in a good way. Yeah. It's a good chaos. You love that good kind of chaos.
Exactly. Having too much wrestling to watch is a good problem to have.
Yes.
Great time to be a wrestling fan. So let's kick it. Let's don't have Skibbity Riz. You're here. It's busting.
Stop.
All right, I'm starting to turn into Myndrunner here. So let's
Okay, yeah, no, you're Myndrunner. No. Get rid of Myndrunner.
All right, before I turn into Myndrunner, let's get cracking. Let's go to the women's wrestling news. All right, to the stage, women's wrestling news. We're kicking off with NXT. NXT is on fire. Do you agree, Angel Marie?
Oh, heck yes, NXT is on fire. Arguably one of the best places for women's wrestling in all of the companies right now.
Big time. There's so much going on. This, I mean, and I do want to get in depth with you here in a little bit about the NXT TNA crossover merge kind of thing going on. We're going to talk about that in just a moment, but I really feel like, you know, Mr. Heartbreak Kid himself, Chef Heartbreak Kid is cooking. There's a lot of talent. There's a lot of really cool storylines. I argue, and again, I love AEW. That's my favorite show. I'm a little bit biased, but I argue NXT's women's division with this, you know, this woven into TNA. This is the women's division to beat right now. This is the top tier of women's wrestling right now. Agree, disagree? Am I out of my mind? What do you think?
Oh, no, 100% agree with that.
And
hell yes.
And kicking things off, of course, we talked about this last time with Jordan Grace's Open Challenge. There were a lot of speculation. I thought we might actually see Stephanie Vacour, who hasn't shown up yet. And we're already having this awesome women's division, and then Stephanie Vacour is going to show up. But we have this confrontation as Jordan Grace arrives. There's this side-eye stare down between Jordan Grace and Julia. A picture says 1,000 words. If you look in the upper left of the screen, this stare down, taste of things to come. Are we getting a hint at something down the road that might be something to keep an eye on?
I mean, possibly. Julia versus Jordan, that would absolutely slap. Now that's a banger.
That's a banger. You heard it from Angel Marie right there. That's a banger. We need to make that a little segment. That's a banger.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I love the Juggernaut. She is so amazing. Mm-hmm. And I just to kind of talk about it, is one of the things that they did a great job is her surprise showing up at NXT when she first debuted at NXT, if you will, how they've treated Jordan as the Juggernaut. They've treated her as the superstar that she is. You know, it wasn't something like, well, okay, well, here's TNA's champion. No, they made a big deal about it. And it turned out her challenger was none other than Sol Ruca. And talk about a great challenger to show off what both Jordan and Sol Ruca can do. Mm-hmm. I love this matchup. You know, for the Juggernaut to go against such a high flyer. I mean, do you think it's a bad analogy or good analogy? Do you think Sol Ruca's got a little bit of the Jeff Hardy in her?
Oh, I mean, technically not a bad analogy. I mean, she definitely is a high flyer. I love how Sol just she flips she be flipping everywhere. She's so awesome. I love Sol Ruca.
And when I say that, I mean in ring. I'm not talking about other extracurricular. Yeah. Maybe she likes to paint and music too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But this was such a great match. I felt like it was a great showcase for both talents. And I do think we're going to see some victory. I love that you have all these wrestlers with their wrestling boots, and yet Sol, she's got, is it Vans?
I think they're either Vans or Converse. That's iconic.
That's don't change. If she goes to main roster or she goes to another company, don't change that aspect. I think that's brilliant. We also, of course, got to see, even though this is a picture from last week, we got to see more of the reunion of what is it called? Taxley? No, it's
Tyra.
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 Yes. And what are your thoughts on this matchup? Do you think this is going to be solid and legit? We did kind of talk about this last week, but where do you think this is going?
This is going to go far. Maybe even possibly tag champions. I don't know. But I love the dynamic of Tatum just being absolutely crazy. And then Lyra's just like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's cool. I'm going to just stand over here. You know what I mean? It's so hilarious. And she was like, yeah, you and your weird coping mechanisms. Yeah.
It's
hilarious.
funny too because Lyra's like the I think we've all had that friend, or sometimes we've been that friend that's a little out there, and
not me.
Where we kind of treat them like, yeah, I still love you, but that's weird. The dolls are a little much, I don't know. But then again, I've got my wrestling figures. They're not dolls.
Me too.
They're action figures. So
they're action figures. They're not dolls, actually.
And Tom, what did you think of Julia's debut, and how did you feel about Chelsea Green being her first opponent?
First off, I was excited that I kind of sort of predicted this. I was like, heck yeah, I win! Booker of the year, book me! But no, I thought it was a great match, and I freaking, you know me, I love Chelsea Green! So, and I also love Julia.
Yes.
But yeah, so I thought the match was fantastic. I was like, oh, okay, I see you, Miss Girl. I see you. And yeah, it was a really, really great match for Julia's debut. Really solidified her. Like, absolutely. She is here.
Yes.
She ain't playing.
And I think this was brilliant booking for several aspects. Julia, of course, having her first match be an experienced veteran who I think can speak Japanese, at least enough in the ring, and have some of that and have some of that understanding, and have some of the you need to start off against a veteran like Chelsea. Plus, it fits Chelsea's character. Now she's got something else to complain to management about.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, hey, what's going on? What are you doing here? I thought it was brilliant. I also those Mission Pro fam. I mean, we love Roxy, as we know from the first ever Mission Pro show, who's now Roxanne Perez. The way that she's almost like she's holding on to that title belt so tight, like it's the precious. Like she's looking and she's pouting, she's angry, she looks scared that she's going to lose this title. So I think the storytelling's been great. I think Chelsea was a great first opponent. I'd like to see some more. I'd like to see Julia versus Sol Ruca. I agree with Pepe. I mean, there's so many opportunities here, and I think it's just going to be worth watching. Yes, there's the men wrestle too, by the way. But the women's division in NXT it's crushing it. If you like women's wrestling, you got to check out these ladies. They're really crushing it. I'm loving it. And but also there was a little bit of aftermath. So yes, the Juggernaut got the W over Sol Ruca, but then we had a little bit of an interference. Not really interference, a little aftermath. So take us through, Angel, what happened after Jordan got the W.
So, lights go out. Spooky! The spooky twins arrived. And they beat up Jordan. So. Sadly, but I say sadly, but at the same time, it's freaking awesome because I love Wendy and I love Rosemary, but then I love Jordan. So it's like a boo, but a oh hell yeah kind of moment. You know what I mean? That's like with everything at this point. You love like all women in wrestling, so you're like, who am I supposed to root for this?
Yeah. Right. I mean, well, that's the thing is, I mean, that's what makes a good villain is somebody that you root for, but you also you love to hate, or you hate to love, that kind of thing. But I do think that's what's great about this gimmick. And some people are really giving, and going back to the Kalani Jordan Wendy Chu match, I felt like a lot of people are not giving the entertainment factor credit, and the matches themselves have been great. I don't know what they're expecting, but the entertainment factor has been phenomenal. This this pairing of Rosemary and Wendy Chu is brilliant, and it's further solidifying this tie-in with TNA. Now, we saw AEW and TNA, or at the time it was Impact, have a mutual work, and it kind of fizzled. They had kind of a back and forth, but it kind of fizzled, and it didn't quite seem symbiotic. This like TNA feels like NXT's version of ROH. Like, it almost feels like TNA is a bit of an extension of WWE. And if you told me tomorrow that WWE owns TNA, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, granted, I don't think they are, but the way that they're seamlessly working, like tying in these storylines, and now we've got a Victory Road Friday night, Wendy Chu going against Jordynne Grace, and of course Rosemary's going to be there. Will Jordynne Grace have someone at her side? Does she need someone at her side, or can the Juggernaut take both of these spooky dooky characters out herself?
So, I mean, Jordynne is extremely strong. I mean, literally the Juggernaut.
Yes.
But the thing is that it's one thing to be physically strong, and another thing to be strong against people with spooky powers. Ooh. So, that's... I don't know if Jordynne's going to have backup. I mean, if she were to somehow talk with someone to get backup, I would say Tatum Paxley.
So,
are we surprised?
Yeah, Tatum showing up to help out Jordynne would be pretty cool.
And then she already has the feud with Wendy, so I mean, technically, it would make sense. And then sets it up with Rosemary. She goes against Rosemary and then goes against Wendy.
Well, or you have a Wendy Rosemary versus Tyra, or
Tyra. True.
Tyra. That back and forth.
That as well.
And by the way, shout out to San Antonio for hosting Victory Road. By the way, you get your tickets now if you haven't already. And hey, if you do end up going, Mission Pro Nation, if you do end up going to Victory Road, please share and tag Mission Pro in the pictures. Let us know what's going on, what your thoughts are. We'd love to give you credit on the next show when we talk about it. Speaking of TNA though, I got to talk about now. Two of my favorite women's wrestlers of all time are on opposite teams. Two of my favorite redheaded, although Masha's kind of no longer as red as she used to be.
Yeah.
Two of the most badass women are on opposite teams here. Nothing against Alicia Edwards, but Masha Slamovich, who I think she wrestles every day. She'll wrestle a bear. She's wrestled a bear. She'll wrestle she's constantly just kicking ass. And you've got the champions militia going against Team Spitfire with Danny, and of course my other favorite redheaded wrestler, Jody Threat. And Jody, if again, no stranger to Mission Pro, she put out that insane banger against Janai Kai. And she had another insane banger with La Rosa Negra at Mission Pro. Go check it out on the Mission Pro channel. But this tag team is going to be like, it's not a hardcore match. You don't need but without weapons, these four are going to beat the hell out of each other. And just having Masha versus Jody itself is going to be a banger. But you add the other two. To me, I'm excited about it. I don't know if you follow much of the TNA tag team scene, but these four, especially with Masha and Jody, it's gonna be dynamite. Yeah, Pepe's correct. Masha's like the female Chuck Norris. Absolutely, you're right. The boogeyman checks under his bed for Masha before he goes to bed. Yeah.
I love that.
Absolutely. We need to come up with some Masha. We need to start posting some Masha-isms,
We do.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Have you been following any of the TNA stuff much? I know there's a lot of wrestling to cover.
Yeah. I try to. I don't really get to watch TNA too much, but I do try to keep up just a little bit. And from what it looks like from the girlies that I do know in that match, hell yeah, it's gonna be a banger.
Unbelievable. I was so glad. It was bittersweet when Masha got signed to TNA because I was hoping she'd go to AEW, but this has been her home. This has been her wheelhouse. She's really been able to show off what she can do, and she'll wrestle. She'll wrestle there on Friday, Saturday, and who knows? She'll probably be in wrestling in front of 10 people in a steel cage, and then the next night she's wrestling GCW at Hammerstein Ballroom. Yeah, she wrestles. I love it. But let's talk about Raw. A lot of interesting stuff here. We can talk about Pink Pony Club. Pink Pony Club took on again Lyra and Zelina and the returning Natty. And that was, what did you think of that matchup? And what, again, just here at Mission Pro Spotlight, we want Pink Pony Club, aka Pure Fusion Collective Tropical Smoothie. We want them to be the badasses that they are, but are they kind of jobbing at this point?
Yeah, they kind of are. And you hate to see it because, like we've said so many times, they are freaking badasses, but they're kind of flopping. Flopping.
What did you think of Natty's return?
Oh, I love Natty. She's the boat. But I low-key kind of sort of in the back of my head wanted it to be Tatum. But
of course.
You didn't hear that from me. But no, but like I figured it was more than likely gonna be Natty because they were in Canada. And I love the reunion that she had as well backstage afterwards. That was really sweet. But yeah, I love Natty. So I was like, I'm happy to see her back.
We're fans of Natty, we're fans of Lyra, but also fans of Zelina. I like that Zelina is getting this kind of treatment. She's getting a better, I want to say a push per se, but I think this is an improvement in the storylines that she's had in the past. And I do I like this trio. I don't know how permanent it's going to be, but I love the trio there. Pink Pony Clubs need something. They need, I don't know if they need some kind of like a fourth member to come in and just smack them out of their losing streak. Do they need a coach? I mean, like what if, maybe not a Ronda Rousey, but like somebody to show up and just kind of be like, listen, y'all need to shape up. This Pure Fusion thing's not working. You guys, they need that. To me, this needs to be the female equivalent of Blackpool Combat Club.
Yes,
and it's kind of coming across as the female equivalent of Dark Order, and it's like, maybe not that. Maybe that's not because I like Dark Order, but
I love Dark Order.
I just don't think. I want to see these three badasses be the badasses that they are. Speaking of badasses. Ivy Nile going for plunder. She found some plunder. wasn't exactly. But so is this the first time we've really seen this this incarnation of Nikki Cross, aka Sister Abigail. This is the Nikki Cross I love. I love crazy Nikki Cross.
Yes.
When she was in NXT and she was part of Sanity, and even when she was part of Sanity, when she came to the main roster, I love this. I wasn't a fan of the Ash character, but some people like it and whatever.
It was okay.
This is just the picture on pictures 1,000 words. The look on Ivy's face, and then, hey, how about a kendo stick? What was your reaction? What was your reaction with this moment? And what are your thoughts on Sister Nikki?
Sister Nikki. Oh my gosh. I didn't even I honestly completely forgot that the White Six were even having a match. So I'm like, I'm coming home from practice and I'm texting my friend and she's like, yo, Nikki's fucking crazy. And I was like, oh, I was like, what? And she's like, yeah. And so like I look and I go and I watch back and I'm like, I love Nikki. You know what I mean? I mean, I loved Nikki before, but like I've said it before, I am such a sucker for dark characters. Yes. And Nikki has just been playing it so well. I'm like, chef kiss. Chef kiss.
This is like Pepe says, it suits her. Yeah, this is her wheelhouse. And you know, I'm all for like trying new characters. I mean, shoot, Julia Hart going from the cheerleader to the Instagram witch, that was fantastic. You know, but like this is where Nikki needs to be. And the whole Wyatt Six gimmick is fantastic. It's such a tribute to Bray. But this is such a cool moment. It popped me. I love this. I love what they're doing with this. Again, AEW brought me back as a wrestling fan. I had really tuned out of WWE, but if they keep doing this kind of stuff, I'll tune in, because this is the stuff I love. I love a surprise like that. Shades of not quite, but shades of Adam Cole reaching for a chair and finding Danhausen attached to it. But,
yes.
I mean, but the difference is Danhausen just cursed him and walked away. Nikki
said, "Hey there."
Yeah, so good stuff. Question before we move on: whether, depending on when and if Alexa Bliss returns, does she join the Wyatt Six? As has her doll, and or does she somehow join, or does she come back as the old Alexa Bliss, the more coffee drinking, spiteful girl? How would you like to see Alexa Bliss come back?
Okay, a lot of people weren't liking her dark character towards like the end of the whole run she had. I've seen stuff online, but I would love to see her come back as a part of the Wyatt Six. Totally, 100%. And like her just as like her becoming Lily. I mean, she was technically, we speculated that she was Lily before, but then like everything happened. She's no longer Lily, but it's chaotic. But I like her as a life-size Lily, just taking over her. That would be such good storytelling. I love it. I would love to see her do that.
I think there's a lot of ground here, and not to belabor any negativity, because we want to talk about the positivity, but it does seem like the post Vince era has been an improvement on both the main roster and with NXT, because they're really having consistent stories and they're really doing some magic there. Let's move on. This past weekend, there was a small little pay-per-view. It was kind of a PG rated, not very violent at all, but we do definitely. Before we get to that, how can I forget?
Yes.
Tag team champions. The Storm, was it
Storm EST.
Storm EST, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. And again, I'm with Jade. The comparisons to AEW's so far in the rearview mirror. Again, I love AEW, but I feel like this gave Jade a chance to really shine. The pairing with Bianca has been fantastic. Everybody wants them to turn on each other. I'm like, what? No. Lightning in a bottle. Of course, Unholy Union's fantastic too. This was a banger match. What were your thoughts? And was this the right move? Is this feud going to continue? What do you think? What are your thoughts on Storm EST and the Unholy Union?
Yeah, the whole feud, I don't know, has kind of, I don't know if this is just a me thing, but the whole feud has kind of just felt a little weird. But I do like the fact that Storm EST is still champs. I love the Unholy Union. I wish they were champs, but there's only one set of tag titles. You can only have one set of champs, I guess. But I love the chemistry between Bianca and Jade. And like you were saying, I don't know why so many people want them to break up. Like, they are an amazing tag team. They are the strong S, the fast S, the roughest, the toughest, the quickest, the greatest, the BESTs of WWE. So yeah, I really love them together, honestly.
Now, just going back to our spooky dookie portion of the show,
Yes.
if Alexa Bliss comes back as Lily, you have Lily and Sister Abigail as a tag team going up against either of these teams would be phenomenal. Do you want this feud to continue? Do you think Unholy Union should back off and we put them in another storyline, or should we just kind of wait and see?
Yeah, I don't know. I would say probably back off because of just like how involved they've been with the title recently, which like I'm not mad at that either. I love Unholy Union too, and like I believe that they've gotten mistreated like a few times, but honestly, maybe go away from the title picture for a bit. I mean, they can still be having like amazing feuds, but they don't have to be title feuds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And there could be there's a number of things that they can do, but yeah, I don't think it's time to split up Storm EST at this time at all.
No.
There'll be plenty of time down the road to do that, but right now this is hot, and I love that the women's tag team division is getting the eyes it needs. And if it was getting this kind of attention before Sasha Banks left, maybe she would never have left. Who knows? But speaking of the former Sasha Banks, she was part of a little tiny independent show that wasn't very. It was very, very tame. Not a whole lot of bloodshed.
No,
I'm talking, of course, about AW's All Out, and what a great name for a pay-per-view, All Out. We're only going to talk about the TBS title match that was Hikaru Shida versus Mercedes Moné. People are saying this was the weakest match on the card. I would only agree with them in the standpoint of that's like saying it was the ugliest supermodel or, the least tasty jelly bean, because it's like, because this was great. I thought this was a great match, especially Shida. I know the argument's been made is Mercedes needs quality opponents. A lot of people felt like her match with Britt Baker was pretty cold. I would agree on that, except I do think that Mercedes did fantastic with Shida. I mean, just look at the pictures here. There were a lot of. Were there some flubs? There were flubs in every match, but I felt like there was more of a chemistry here. I felt like Hikaru Shida, of course, being much more of a veteran, much more of an in-ring veteran, and having that ring awareness. And of course, the outcome we knew was going to be Mercedes. My only disappointment is we didn't get Renegade Twins showing up to help. That was my own overbooking, but What were your thoughts on this matchup? And did you feel like did it lack anything, or was it impressive to you? What were your thoughts?
I feel like it was like it's like Goldilocks and Three Bears. It wasn't too hot. It wasn't too cold. It was just right. But I mean, yeah, like it wasn't like nothing like extravagant, but it wasn't like bad either. And like you said, like there's always like little bluffs in every match. Like it's inevitable. Honestly, it's inevitable. But give credit where credit was due. That match was pretty good.
And here's the thing too. A couple things compared to the other matches. We had Pac versus Ospreay. And there was another match which we're going to talk about in just a moment. But there were a lot of other matches that, this was like if this was on Dynamite, this would have been a great main event. But it was like wedged in between all these killer matches. It kind of, I don't know. I can understand. The other thing I'll say too, I'd like to see Mercedes come up with a new finisher. Like, I'm not sure it used to be the bank statement. Now it's the moneymaker. I want to see something. She needs a different kind of, maybe a submission, or maybe some kind of she needs a different, and someone with her kind of build, I think submission would work great. because she's kind of got that build like where she could kind of lock in some kind of like Britt Baker's lockjaw works because you believe she's got you in a position. Like if Britt Baker had a powerful finisher, it wouldn't come off believable because she's so thin. Mercedes needs some kind of either submission move or something. Anyways, let us know in the chat what you think. Do you think that, or do you think she needs a new finisher, or do you think it's fine?
I mean, I love the bank statement, but I mean, spice it up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get like, I mean, you can keep the bank statement. You can also incorporate like some other finishers too. I mean, don't overdo it, but like a triangle. Yeah, that would be good. Honestly, a triangle choke, that'd be.
You could call it the Monet coin or something like that.
The Monet coin.
I don't know, something like that. Gotta talk about someone that's getting a lot of TV time, and she's getting a push since she's been signed to AEW. We've seen her on our TV a lot. She had a eliminator match on Dynamite, but you and I were talking about her offline. Queen Aminata, the one and only, getting a lot of TV time. She had kind of a squash against our girl Misa Kate. Misa Kate, no stranger to Mission Pro. Actually, Mission Pro trivia. Do you know Misa Kate is in the history books at Mission Pro Wrestling for what reason? Recently this year, she's in the history books. She was part of a history-making moment. A history-making moment she's not proud of.
I know what it
is very proud of. You know, Angel Marie.
I just realized it. I was like, wait, what was the history-making moment? Duh. Izzy Moreno got her first win.
Izzy Moreno's first W was on Misa Kate. And then Misa Kate also gets a squash match against Queen Aminata. And I don't say squash match. I don't want to. That diminishes the match. It was a quick match, but Misa got to show some stuff here. I want to see Misa Kate get some more time. We chatted with her before. She's really putting in the work. I think she needs to embrace her Chicago character a little bit more. Dive into be kind of like embrace the different sports teams. The Blackhawks, the Cubs, the Bulls, the Bears, kind of become like this sports kind of badass. I think she needs to invest more in that character. And people, especially when she gets to a Chicago match, if she comes out to like the Chelsea Dagger, which is the Blackhawks goal music, if she came up to something like that, I think she'd get a lot of things. My sis, look who's in the chat. Woo!
Hi, Freya.
Hey, Freya. Pepe says hello, Freya. Very cool. What are your thoughts on Queen Aminata, though? I mean, do you think she's do you like that she's kind of getting some time? Do you think she's ready for prime time here?
Oh, yeah. Okay. First off, I love Aminata. I don't know. Just something about her is just like so perfect. Something about Aminata is just so perfect. I'm like, okay, like she's over in my books. And then also with Misa, I definitely do want to see her getting more time and just like own that Chicago character. Because I love Misa too. I mean, even though she technically did fight my best friend, you know what I mean? I still love Misa.
And what happened when she fought your best friend, though?
She may or may not have lost.
We love you, Mr. Kate. We love you. We support you. But you also, unfortunately, are part of Mission Pro history, part that you may not like, but it's all good. It's all good. We love Queen Aminata. I love that she refers to Sky Blue as her wifey. If you've been following the two of them on social media, it's been pretty funny. Good stuff all around. Let's talk about some cool stuff coming up. First of all, upper right, we had, of course, Queen Aminata was not successful in her match against Mariah May, but Mariah May then was begging for Mina Shirakawa to return. And we want Mina. I mean, Mina has been in the States for a bit. I think she went back to Japan, but do you want to see more Mina Shirakawa? Do you think they should reform Club Venus, or do you think Mina might turn on Mariah a little bit here?
I want to see more Mina. Mina, please come back. You know what I mean? I love the whole little thing with Mina and Mariah. Like, I'm like, that's so cute. So cuteness. I love it. I don't want her to turn on her. Not yet. Not yet.
So keep
Let
clubbing.
them
Gotcha.
let them be together for a little bit and then maybe turn in like 10 years. No, I'm kidding.
10 years.
15 years.
Never turn.
Never
turn. We were talking about Queen Aminata, and somebody that has had a big interest in Queen Aminata has been Serena Deeb. But I'm more excited about who she's taking on Saturday. Returning from injury is Yuka Sakazaki. Yuka Sakazaki. Yuka is back. The magical girl is back. I feel like she was getting ready to get a big push, and things went sideways with her injury, but now she's back. If you haven't already seen her and Prince Nana doing the swerve dance, you got to check it out.
Oh my gosh.
You're adorable. But I'm excited about Yuka. I'm intrigued with what Serena Deeb's got planned. I've always felt like Serena Deeb needs to open the Deeb Dojo and make it more of like a faction. So, and I think that maybe that's what she's starting to plan here with recruiting people for her dojo. So it'll be interesting to see. Are you a Yuka fan, Angel Marie?
Am I a Yuka fan? I love, let's do it again. Yuka Sakazaki, Yuka Sakazaki, Yuka Sakazaki! Yeah, no, I love Yuka. I'm so happy that she's back. I am so happy.
Looking forward to it. Rampage with 2 ladies matches, 6 ladies in action. Of course, we've got on the right Camille versus Robin Renegade. Of course, the overbooking Myndrunner here. Because I actually want the Renegades with Camille and Mercedes. So I want this to be kind of like a moment where Robin earns Camille's respect and Monet's respect, and Monet makes her an offer. Or something like that, and then Charlotte returns. I want that faction. I think that would be pretty cool, but we will see. And those of you that aren't familiar with Yuka, by the way, check her out this Saturday. You're going to love her. She's fantastic. She's so positive. And classic match. You got to go check out Yuka Sakazaki versus DMD Britt Baker, when Britt knocked a tooth out of her mouth, and then Yuka tagged with Rio against Britt Baker, Penelope Ford, and Yuka's first time I ever seen Yuka not smile. She was ticked. She went after Britt like crazy. So Camille versus Robin Renegade. Hey, Matthew, good to see you, buddy. And Camille versus Robin Renegade. But we also have the Outcasts, Saraya and Harley Cameron, versus the Hex, Marty Bell and Allison Kay. What do you think about that matchup?
Yeah, I freaking oof. I've seen a little bit of. Yeah, I was about to get into that. Hang on.
Yeah,
I was going to say.
I'll wait till you
bring it up. Little bit of praise to Marty Bell and Allison Kay. I've seen some of their work. They're awesome. But one thing about Saraya and Harley, I know me and somebody that may or may not go by the name of Freya in the chat feel very dearly about someone that needs to come back and be back with Saraya and Harley Cameron. Bring Anna J back, bro. I miss her. I miss Anna.
And Anna, I think, is going to come back a much more polished wrestler. I think her trip to Japan was great. I think Anna needs to pick up as many indie gigs as she can. I know that it's limited in some cases, but I would love to see Anna get more reps. Harley has really impressed me with her in-ring ability. I was very pleasantly surprised. And if Saraya, there's my own gut feeling, and I could be completely wrong. This is I have no idea if this is true, but just my gut feeling is I have a feeling that Saraya is very limited now in what she can do in the ring based on her injuries. So I'm wondering if, kind of having Anna and Harley do more of the heavy lifting for her, Saraya can still participate, but not be in the positions that could really re-injure her or what have you. This is going to be a banger. I hope this isn't a squash. I hope this match gets the time it needs. I'd love to see the Hex return to Mission Pro. That would be the Hex versus Fire and Fury would be quite the slobber knocker. If I do say so. Yeah. I think that would be tremendous. Now, but let's think about this. We've got the Hex. They're kind of building the Outcasts a little bit. The Renegade Twins start to show up more frequently. Charlotte comes back. Is Tony Khan starting to think, hey, maybe we're getting close to time to pull the trigger on some women's tag belts?
Ooh.
There's this new Warner Brothers deal is about to get pen to paper. It's 95% done. Allegedly, there's a new show called AEW Shockwave that might show up. Now, rumors about that. If we get more TV programming, and I've noticed that with Collision and Rampage, we're starting to get more than just one token women's match on AEW programming. And a lot of times there's a singles match, and then a lot of times it's a tag match. Or is Tony kind of fishing to see if it's time to pull the trigger with a tag team women's titles? What do you think, Angel? Is it time?
I mean, yeah, it's been time because there are so many women on that roster that do not get used that could easily tag with each other that would bond together well. So yeah, there's a lot of women that could be used for that tag division. And honestly, seeing tag titles, that'd be so freaking awesome. I would absolutely love it.
I would love it as well. I think and I'm biased. I want the Renegade Twins to win. I've always said that. But there's other teams that could have it, and it would be really interesting to see. Heck, you could even have the Club Venus return. With Nina and Mariah, you could have more than one belt. I think that would get some eyeballs. Let's and just kind of in general, I've noticed a lot more attention in the women's divisions. I wanted to highlight the adding a female part to different factions has been, in my opinion, an upgrade. I wasn't sure about Layla Gray fitting in with Top Flight, but I feel like, since I've seen her in action, I feel like it's been great. I'm not a fan of their uniforms. I think they need to go back to the Top Flight more athletic looking stuff. Yeah. But we've got Layla Gray with Top Flight, and of course Leo Rush kind of fitting in with them. Erica Lee is part of the Outrunners. Tremendous. I think if you've ever got a chance to watch her, just when she comes out with the Outrunners, watch her. We watched them live in Norfolk, and Erica Lee was reacting, overreacting to everything going on in the ring. She's like, ah, ah. I mean, she reminds me of Sensational Sherry on crack. And I say that as a compliment. I don't say that as a bad thing. She's so entertaining. And we watched it when she was there for the Outrunners, and she's in the ring, and then Nyla's music starts, and she's looking around for Nyla's opponent, and then our kitty goes, and her opponent, Erica Lee. And she's like, what? Me? Ah, no. It was very entertaining. The Outrunners are entertaining. I think she's a great fit. And on the other side of the spectrum, you have one side comedy. We've also got Marina Shafir with, I guess it's Blackpool Combat Club, whatever's going on with Moxley and them. So my question to you, Angel Marie, How do you feel about these female additions to these factions? Which one do you think is working the best? And what are there any changes, or are there any other factions you think that need some female addition?
Ooh, yeah. I can't really think off the top of my head one that might need a woman. I mean, a lot of like the factions are making like names for themselves. So I mean, like even with just like a women superstar, just hyping them up, like that's cool too. But one of my favorites is probably either Layla or Marina, honestly. And like we said, Marina, freaking, she can dominate. Don't get it wrong, Marina can dominate. Just in certain categories. We love you, Marina. Please don't hurt me, Marina. You know. But yeah, no, I love women's additions to like factions and stuff, because then it does also let like women who who otherwise would not be getting like that spotlight and stuff, who would otherwise be like just not being used at all, like they're having a use right there. And like, I mean, that's like a really great thing. Like, book women.
Yeah, exactly. Good stuff. Well, we got to get going here because we got to talk about one other very cool thing. We've got to get to our banger of the week. So without further ado, let's get to our banger of the week.
Hold on to your Kulos Mission Pro fans. Rock on, it's the banger of the week.
Banger of the week, of course, is All Out. We had the Chicago street fight. Whoa! I mean,
yeah.
This was a night where we knew we were going to have insane violence between Swerve and Hangman. We had some insane violence at the beginning between MJF and Daniel Garcia. We had a lot of violent moments, and yet this matchup completely delivered. Your reaction to Willow versus Statlander Chicago street fight?
Yeah, freaking. Whoo! I was like, whoa. Like, I freaking love crazy matches. Freaking, yeah, literally. Go to choice. Oh my gosh, I love crazy intense matches. And there were so many moments in this match. I was like, oh my god, like, are you gonna be okay? Like, cause, woo! Insane. And like, low-key, I want to do that one day, but then at the same time, I'm like, okay, maybe I don't want to put my body through that much. Because they put their bodies through a lot in this match.
A lot. And yeah, we could definitely talk about a lot on the next page I've got here. But when was the last time we saw light tubes used in AEW? I know it's been done before. I think Joey Janela did it once. But yeah, sick kick back to this. Willow said with that table spot was scary. I agree. A lot of pain. Here's some highlights.
Yeah, Chris really scared me. I was like, oh my god. You know, like, I'm okay with, like, okay, throw me onto a pile of thumbtacks, land on my back, land on my legs, whatever. But, like, Chris, like, I was like, I know that hurt, bro. I know that hurt. Yeah. Like, ooh.
I am well aware. Men and women, we have different equipment in that certain area. But it doesn't matter what's down there. That tack split spot hurt.
It's going to hurt.
That looks, brutal. I mean, and I agree with Pepe. That table spot was scary because it almost looked like she missed the table. I thought she hit her backbone a little bit, her tailbone. But hey, Courtney says, "Hey, Myndrunner." Thank you, Courtney. And of course, hey, Angel. Good to thank you, Courtney, for being here. Okay, so again, this was a night of. Let's be honest. This was a violent pay-per-view. It's kind of like, All In was the Pixar movie, and this was the Tarantino movie. It was definitely night and day compared to All In and All Out. But people complaining about the women in violent matches like this, and I don't know. I think, what do you feel like this is a problem? Do you feel like do you feel like we need more women street fight matches? Because every one of the women's street fight matches are unsanctioned, whatever. You talk about the ladies that started it all, Thunder and Britt. You look at was it IJ versus Penelope and the Bunny? Yeah. Was it Willow had that tag match where it was her and Ruby? Yeah, there's been a number of these kind of matches. So is there a place, and is it time for us to maybe let's go pull the trigger and have a women's blood and guts match?
Oh my gosh. Yes, I was about to bring up that point. I want a women's blood and guts match. If the men can get a blood and guts match, the women should be able to get a blood and guts match. I mean, look at this right here. All of the freaking chaos, but it's beautiful chaos. And I don't see it as a problem at all. I mean, if men can get violent, why can't women get violent?
Women's blood and guts. Yes, absolutely. That agrees with us. So, two things, Tony Khan. We love you, brother. You've been great. But two things, we've been loyal fans. I think we've been very good. I know that you get a lot of flack. There's a lot of haters out there, but there's a lot of fans that support you. We support you. We support women's wrestling. We have two very, very, very big favors. We need women's tag team titles, and we need a women's blood and guts match, and let's make it happen. And you could even have the Monet Corporation versus some AEW originals. I mean, Thunder Rosa is a team captain versus Mercedes as a team captain, and they assemble their teams. I think it writes itself. So,
sounds fire.
Awesome stuff. So, anywho, thank you all for tuning in with us tonight. We've got awesome stuff. Like we said at the beginning of the show, make sure you, I'll let you say it, the like, share, subscribe thing. Slay that subscribe button.
Slay.
Slay the subscribe button. The bash that bell button.
Yeah, we could do that. Slay that subscribe button. Stop.
All right, we'll come up with
Okay, Skibbity's too far. No,
that's
stop.
A little bit too far. But thanks for tuning in. Next, we got some great things coming up here. Make sure you check it out. And we're going to be releasing, we're releasing an awesome panel discussion coming up on representation and diversity in wrestling. A focus on women's wrestling, of course, but we're going to also talk about just in general, too. It's going to be a very positive discussion. I don't think it'll be positively debated. I think there might be some differing opinions here and there. But we're going to bring those questions. And if you have questions about representation, diversity, email us, of course, Myndrunner, Gmail, or shoot us a DM on Twitter. You can find both of us, at ITRW at Angel Marie. You know where to find her. Slay those DMs and make sure the questions are busted.
Oh my gosh.
And all of that. Anyway, I don't know what you're doing. But Angel Marie, any final thoughts before we head out?
Slay every day. That's gonna be our new thing. It's just slay every day, all day, every day.
Slay all day, slay your day, all day, every day. Sounds good. You can find Angel here on Instagram and X, of course, Myndrunner. You know where to find me. Also, you can find me in about a half an hour on the Dynamite Download channel when SPD and I are going to be going over a lot of cool stuff with AEW, as well as we're going to be talking about our draft. Our season 3 draft is over, and a certain Mission Pro Wrestling co-owner was our champion. I cannot confirm or deny, but he kind of blew us out of the water, and I cannot confirm or deny that he had some inside information on some of these matches. But season 4 draft is coming up, and if you're a Dynamite Club member, you have an opportunity to pick some wrestlers. And anyways, it's been awesome. Angel Marie, you're on fire. You're in fuego. All kinds of cool stuff. We will see you all next time. On behalf of Angel Marie, on behalf of everybody in the chat, we love you, Mission Pro family, and we will see you next time. Slay your day.
Slay.
Slay.